Holy shit. Welcome.
Don't ever touch me.
To the Full Charge Power Hour. We are back to basics, folks. I don't know if anyone's really been keeping up with what we've been telling them.
It wasn't a lie.
It's like, people didn't believe us that we were kicked out of All Things Comedy.
I mean...
And this is the proof. The term hostage video is going to be used over and over and
pulled
over.
up a newspaper with the date.
I mean, the fact that this is a very delicate system right here, so be sure you don't touch anything. And if we didn't have this banner...
You wouldn't know what we're doing?
I mean, it would just be the white wall of... It would be so fucking sad.
But you know what I do love about it? Is whenever you want, you can zoom in, because this looks a little bit like Judgmental Matt. Like previous, like if you don't like something, Judgmental Matt. Look, Craig,
this is back when...
He's judging you from behind.
That was back when I could afford to have an attitude. Like, I'm over this. And now the look should be like, you guys are over me.
Right.
I gotta go. That's like, guys, I gotta go.
I'll be honest. I walked into this place and I was like, oh, this is the kind of place I belong in.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I already know my place in society.
Matt and I were joking before. This is kind of where this is how it started for most of us, right? We're going back in time.
Yeah, we're just back to where it started.
Lewis on here right now.
Let's recap a little bit, because honestly, the answer is no for us. Because you and I started at a makeshift radio station, podcast studio.
That's true. Oh, yeah, that's
called
right.
Toad Hop Network. So we went right to... There was one thing where like me and Ryan and Randy met at my apartment, and we tried to figure out how to do this shit. And then we just went in and did it at that studio, and then that got us started on it.
That's true. Oh, wait, no, we started in the garage. Is that what you're talking about, the garage? Then we went over to... It was the garage, wherever that was.
First of all, we weren't on the same podcast.
No, but I think you had to go to the garage too, right? It was the garage at that dude's house.
You mean
Yeah, which was a studio.
Yeah, it was still a garage.
I'm saying we showed up. There was an engineer.
Oh,
there was
true.
mics. There was headphones.
That's a studio.
Yeah. Like, there didn't look like this.
Yeah, I was going to say, the illusion is everything.
No, I remember this phase too, because then we had to build
There was a refrigerator with beers and water, and you know, like, this shit was happening. The guy used to be it was Frank from Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He was a DJ, an experienced DJ, right. And I think he was without... I think like the show went off the air, and he was like, I'm going to keep myself busy in the meantime.
Oh, sure.
And somehow our friend Frank Kelly knew him, and the Ian Bag Show was there, and the Crab Feast was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And eventually, you guys left?
No, so you guys would come in, I believe, after Ian and I, and then we got moved over to the comedy. No, the comedy club. The Lovitz, John Lovitz,
yeah.
Which honestly,
which was a studio.
It was a studio. Again, you could do live call-in shows. You could do all that stuff. There was great. Then we got kicked out, and then I had to build a podcast studio, which is where I believe you started as well, which was at the Herald Examiner.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So that's when we did it there.
And then
we did it at Josh's living room first.
Oh, that's right. So we did it at this house in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's Black Stallion. It's all over the place.
Yeah. You were at your place. I was at my place. I mean, it was more like this for a while.
Yeah.
This is what, if anybody sees this is what podcasting looked like for most people when they first started.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was talking to so a bunch of us got just scrapped. I think Elon Musk came in and got rid of all the podcasts and all things comedy. Yeah. And
we were all replaced by young women.
Right. It was bound to happen.
So it's the only place DEI isn't happening.
Sure.
This is at the former studio.
Right. And so I'm talking to Ryan O'Neal the other night at the Comedy Store.
Ryan O'Neal?
You know him?
Well, there's the famous actor Ryan O'Neal.
Yeah, no, this would be Ryan O'Neal, Comedy Store comic.
Unfamous podcaster. Yeah, sorry.
Good guy.
Sorry for the confusion.
Yeah. Right, Ryan O'Neal actually might be dead.
But
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
He was just like, I saw him at the Comedy Store. He's like, it was funny. He was like, yeah, it's good, man. People are tired of this bloated, fucking overproduced podcasting, man. We need to get back to the basics. Like, he was pitching the punk rock.
What we're doing.
He was pitching like what we were doing before was Led Zeppelin, but now we're going to be the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
This has a little bit of an Art Bell feel to it, right? Like this podcast can't be found, should not be found. You know, we're on the run.
Right.
We're on the run.
Well, I told the wife, I said, well, we're going to the new studio. And she said, what's it like? I go, well, it's like we were on the Tonight Show, and I was sitting at my desk, and I go, and now we're going to, well, something like this.
Well, the picture Matt sent you, by the way, I saw the picture you sent him. I was like, why did you send him that picture?
I shouldn't have.
It's like
I shouldn't have.
It was like a chair and a table knocked over. He's like, this new place. And you...
It looked like someone...
Your response was like, cool. And
I was like, let's do this.
It looked like somebody kidnapped some office furniture. It was like, send us the money or the chair gets it.
Out front, as I was walking up the street, there was some old tires out there. There was a couple desk chairs that people had thrown outside. And I go, yeah. This is...
We're also right on the LA River. The LA River is right outside that door.
Not a joke.
So funny.
Which is great.
Because it's just, I love you, Los Angeles, but that is the shittiest river.
Don't even know why you named it that.
But half the time there's no water in it.
No, the best thing that ever happened to that river was a chase in Terminator 2.
Yeah, it's the LA ditch.
Yeah, we called that a sump in where I'm from. It's called a sump.
So we're here. The good news is we're cockroaches, and we just can't be destroyed.
Goddamn right.
We're going to be without Wendell on this podcast. I have not figured out Zoom. Honestly, if you knew that I showed up this morning and set all this up.
And do you have to break it all down?
I guess. I don't know. I'm going to out of sheer embarrassment.
What is this place? Is this a production studio?
This is where people rent office space to freelance.
Whatever.
In other words, like you're a writer, you're an editor,
all right.
You're a podcaster.
It's a co-op.
Okay.
And everybody's cool.
Yeah.
That part of it is that's where I think that
it is very punk rock. It is very, and they got Love and Rockets here in the record collection. Yeah. This is an amazing record collection. I'm looking around.
It's punk rock with a monthly fee. So like
punk rock capitalism.
The true punk rock would be just squatting in a building somewhere and like some crackhead's gonna steal your mixer.
Rats running by and shit, right?
That's punk rock.
But actually there probably is rats here, actually.
Yeah. This is more like practicing in Van Nuys like we used to.
It's fair.
As a band with Josh, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck. I'm exhausted. I'm drinking again.
Congratulations? Question mark.
It's not in a bad way. It's just I keep going out to dinner.
Oh.
And I can't just sit there once the wine starts. I'm talking about drinking like 3 or 4 glasses of wine. It's hardly a crack addiction.
I'd get in a fight, and fucking pass out and be hungover for days.
See, I wish I could pass out. The reason I don't like it is I can't sleep.
It usually does keep me up.
At all.
Yeah.
So, but that's like 3 times. And Wednesday, I went out just because you know what it was? I was sitting there. When my wife's out of town, all I do is work. And she was out of town. And I went through this crazy thing. I was on the phone with you that morning that we're like, I reached out to my commercial agent so I could go out on auditions, just to get out of the house and like do stuff.
Sure.
And like, commercial auditions are fun. You show up. And like you never know, there could be like a bunch of clowns.
Yeah.
You could walk into a room and there'd be like 55 beautiful women, just all just sitting there.
Yeah.
You walk in, like I don't know, it's fucking people dressed up like
no, you're not wrong.
Like mariachi bands.
Yeah, and then the left side of the room's all white guys with afros.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's just like I took it for granted before, but now I'm like, give it back. I want it.
Yeah.
But just like everything else now. They send you the notification. It's almost like the agent isn't even involved anymore.
No,
you get a notification. Too. You still do acting?
Yeah, but I can only do them when it's all online, and I tape it myself.
So this is what I'm talking about. They're like, you got to tape it yourself.
Yeah.
You got to do the slate, and it's they're so sick of submissions that they're already cunty about it. Do not do a vertical shot of your full body, you fucking asshole. Do not look at yourself in the camera, you fucking dipshit. Like, it's all laid out like that.
They didn't have those rules before.
No.
And then slowly but surely they're like, okay, obviously you fucking morons do not know how to do this. And I suck at it.
Sure.
I've even done shit where I'm on set and I have to do this, so I like find a quiet spot
Right.
where I'm gonna be doing my fake actor shit.
Yeah.
But you know they're all gonna go like, oh, the fucking sight reps.
Yeah,
Actor.
that hurts.
And one was, you're looking in the fridge
Right.
at something, right? So
Yeah.
clever me, I found their fridge, put my camera in there, opened the fridge, delivered my lines, and closed
Yeah.
the door. Dude, I was like,
It's
I got
good.
this.
that's fucking director.
And then,
And?
did you get any feedback?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Yeah. But what a
Absolutely
great shot.
not.
What a great shot.
What a solid
You
shot.
have to do it for
Well,
the love of the game, guys.
do,
Here- so-
right? Enjoy the journey.
Oh, you
Any
have
other
to.
quotes? Any other quotes you guys need right now?
You're not going to get what you want, so just enjoy what you do get.
Hang in there, cat poster,
hang in
et cetera,
there,
et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a cat on a tree. But, okay. But I get this assignment essentially. And that's the other thing too. You've got this to do today. You got that to do today. You might be at work. All of a sudden it just comes in like, you got to do this shit.
Yeah.
And it used to be a pain in the ass to go somewhere and do it.
Right.
But now you've got to set up shop. You got to get your wife to help you. You got to do this. You got to do that. My point is, when I get this assignment, they say, do every shot of yourself in the storyboard. So I did 12 shots
Uh-oh.
and had to. The other side is you do like 5 takes of everything.
Wait, did you have to edit them back to back to back too? Or did you
I
send
edited
these?
them. I edited them all together. I don't know how else to do it. I'm not going to send them 12 shots. I edited it all together.
I don't think they even want. They're only allow you like 2 videos.
Yeah, so I edited it together. I did
Wow.
all this stuff. It took me 5 hours, and
Easy.
I just lost it.
Did you score it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I got John Williams. Bam, 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 bam. No, I just put OPP like really low on everything. OPP, how can I explain it? I take it frame by frame. I'm all eating an antacid.
Heartburn.
So I just kind of like I was already going out to meet my friend Gary Cannon, who's been on the podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to the Improv, and I just kind of like not like lost it, but I just felt like defeated. Like, oh my god, I have to do so much work
Right.
just to be unemployed. Like so much work just went into this. Like I had to get this goddamn banner just so it looks like. And it's not like we look like we're in a studio now.
No.
It just looks like we
Less
should
white
not
wall.
kill ourselves today. You know? So I go,
The contrast is pretty great.
yeah. So I go to the Improv to hang out with Gary, but he's got other friends there, and like so I don't really get to talk to Gary. So now I'm talking to somebody I don't know. Good dude, but he's telling me like all about how like he's just like pointing to my head, and he's like, yeah, man, like you should go to Turkey and get hair plugs. He's like, I got hair plugs.
Whoa, he just threw that out of nowhere? Or were you guys talking
I-
about your hair? Did you invite him into the hair conversation?
I forget how it happened, but like I was involved. Like it was assumed that I wanted some work done. Let's put it that way. But the dude, it wasn't a lot of judgment because the dude said he did it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And so for people who've done it, they obviously don't think there's anything
Why
wrong
do you
with
have
it.
to go to Turkey?
They
Well,
just
because
wanna
he
spread
said
the love.
it's like way,
probably-
way cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you still have to go to Turkey?
And it's still way,
Really?
way,
So the flying, the
way
hotels,
cheaper.
everything else
Hey,
is still that
and
much.
you get to go take a vacation in Turkey, dude.
They probably put you up in Turkey if you're getting a medical procedure, even if it is cosmetic.
You're like, here's an extra $100. I want to see some of the oldest
Right.
shit you got.
But if you got new hair, what would you do? Would you go Shatner? Like, what would you do?
Well, I don't know because I would just get a full head of hair. What are you talking about?
Well, but what does that mean, though, is what I'm saying. Would you go subtle, or would you come back with a pompadour? Like, because
No.
you're so excited.
I would want, even though it's like kind of acceptable now, and why the conversation could happen so easily, I wouldn't want it to look like I really got work done. So I would
Right.
just like try to keep what I have and maybe a
Sticking
little
it
bit
up
of
a bit.
maybe a little bit of real estate, like maybe like a half an inch.
let's bring the peninsula a little closer.
Right,
The
right.
shoreline a little.
Right. Yeah. Bigger triangle.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And
They probably have pictures of it like this, Mr. Met.
yeah, right.
Mr. Met like this?
Yeah.
Or do we want to go full blown? Romance hair.
Right.
No, let's not do romance hair.
And I'm at the Improv, which used to be the scene, and now it's just like me and 3 other dudes.
Oh, at the bar.
Like
Really
we're also to the
anymore?
point. We're also to the point we're just complaining about the job.
Okay.
You know that? Like we do it as site reps where you go get coffee. You're like, and then the fucking AD said this. You know, but you're complaining about bookers. You're complaining about all this stuff. And I'm just putting them back. I'm just like, this. I'm enjoying myself. I'm not enjoying myself. The business has changed too much for me. Has,
yes.
you know, there used to be, everyone complains about gatekeepers. I like gatekeepers because you had the balls to get on stage and fight your way to get in front of their eyeballs.
That's true. Now it's
you were good.
You, right.
Now you just like piss it into the internet.
Yeah.
You know, just piss it into the Mississippi River and be like,
well,
message in a bottle.
Yeah. Well, fuck you. Good luck.
All right. Yeah. So
I made my money. I'm moving to Colorado.
yeah, I don't know. So I got drunk. And then I totally regretted it. See, I don't know where you're at with drinking. I know you don't drink at all anymore. But I'm already regretting my drinking while I'm still drunk.
Are we in an AA meeting all of a sudden? No, that really just took it. No, I'm just kidding. The
Kind of. No.
Continue.
I'm asking you a question.
Oh, wait. Where am I at in drinking?
Yeah.
No. I mean, when you drink,
Yeah.
first of all, do you regret it? Second of all, do you start to regret it while you're still drunk? Because I start to regret it while I'm still drunk.
So to answer your question, a year ago I would have said yeah, because I would know that the next. I'm mostly a beer drinker, but
Yeah.
I would know that the next drink was probably going to take me over to the top. But
Yeah.
yet somehow or another, my dumb ass was still doing
You
it.
still do it. You go, I shouldn't
And
do
then I was
this.
so pissed off at 5:00 in the morning. My body clock goes, "Here's how we torture you."
Right.
Right. Now I've cut way back.
Yeah.
And I only do it occasionally. And
Yeah.
now I know I stop when I get to this next one.
Yeah.
That's the game changer. I just can't do it.
See, that was me for so long. Like, I can't remember the last time I had a hangover. And then I just did it. And then on Saturday night, I went out with friends. And you're just sitting there for 3 hours. Drunk again.
Yeah.
Birthday. Last night. Drunk again.
That's the problem.
Like 3 times in 1 week.
That's distraction drinking, though. You have something going on.
I know.
You the train keeps coming.
That's
and
what
you
it
don't-
is.
And you don't. I get.
Yeah,
I'm
me
sure-
too.
Just so
I
you
know I'm not dying to get drunk.
No.
I just know I'm dying to like enjoy myself when I'm at dinner.
Yeah.
You know, and then also the only real tying one on was that Wednesday at the Improv where you make a decision with yourself and you go, fuck tomorrow. It's all about the next 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I still cut myself off at a reasonable point.
Well, you don't.
You know what I mean?
also
So
be
it's like-
embarrassing.
yeah,
you know. There's 2 lines you're talking
Yeah,
about here.
right.
There's you're drunk,
Yeah, no.
and then there's everybody else is
knows.
like.
I haven't been that drunk in a long time where like you don't know who you are, you don't remember stuff. You're thinking of things, but your mouth just won't do it for you. It won't communicate the words. Dude, I'm very happy to say have not been there in a long time.
Yeah, that's why I stopped drinking. I
Yes.
usually always became that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard alcohol, or were you
No, yeah, hard alcohol.
Okay,
I only
yeah.
drink vodka.
okay?
Because it really doesn't give me a
hard
hangover,
on?
a hangover
Okay.
or a hard on. Yeah. But beer. But the last time I drank was with this guy. It gave me. I mixed with beer and just.
Yeah, and this heavy beer.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Were you crushing IPAs, or were you doing more like?
He
Like
drank
Guinness stuff.
he drank this beer called Slayer. It was in Oregon, so it was like
Right.
it was like a pun. It was like a sleigh.
Oh, okay. I thought it was because it was Slayer, like the band. I thought
But
that's what got
but it's
excited.
both.
Okay.
It's the you know winter brews. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
They're heavy.
Yeah.
They're dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just put a hurting on you. They
Right.
make you real thirsty. They usually have about 8 to 12% alcohol in
Yeah,
them.
the hop goes straight to the head.
Yeah. And the name got him. He's like, Slayer, that's my beer. And
But I do remember Matt even looking at me like, well, Matt kind of gave you that. It's kind of go. You know,
I appreciate you
grown,
claiming
man.
ownership though before you got into it though, like so you knew it was going to be
Well,
okay.
Matt did kind of try to throw me a little life raft there. Like,
but I was also at that time in my life like such a drinker
yeah.
that I would never assume that alcohol was going to hurt anybody. I'd be like, yeah, get a hangover, whatever.
Yeah,
It'd be fine. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm getting one too. What are you talking about? You know?
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So I just stopped socializing and drinking.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
You did both at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Aaron, can we get a...
Oh, wait a minute.
Holy shit. Guess
Don't
what?
feel bad. Aaron's there with teenagers right now.
Yeah, he's hating it. Yeah. He's like, fuck, what are you talking about?
I did the power move though, man. Like I took my wife out to dinner for her birthday.
Yeah.
And I brought my own candle.
Saw that.
And lighter, just in case
You're the man, dude.
the restaurant didn't have it.
Right.
I'd order dessert, slap it in there, and light the candle.
So that's what you ended up doing?
No, I took her to a nice restaurant. I'm telling you, I'm a Boy Scout.
No, this guy's
and,
slick.
And she's getting a candle. There's certain things she tells me are important to her. I don't understand why. But like if you tell me, a young man says this, I'm not doing that dumb shit.
Right.
A married man or an older dude goes, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
She just told me exactly what she wants.
Done.
Yeah. Was that weighing me down? That birthday candle in my pocket?
Right. Like I told Karen when he first met his wife, he had already pre-ordered her a drink. Like he knew what she wanted. And then
Wait, for the
On their-
future
on
or
their
the
first
first date?
date.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, let me tell you about there was one time where we were taking calls on the show, and maybe
Yeah.
we'll get back to that too. But they were like, I'm going on a first date, and, I need, how should I do it? And I
Right.
remember you just go, I don't know. And I go, I got this
Yeah,
one.
I was like, I was in a band.
I'm in overtime with
Yeah.
my dating.
Right.
So, like now when I show up early. Make sure I get a seat at the bar. Make sure I have a jacket so I can put the jacket on the other seat. And then I'm a swell guy, so I can do this. I find out what she wants, and I order that, and I order myself a beer because alcohol is key on a first date, at least for me. I need to get rid of the nerves.
Sure.
I put one in my stomach while, because I get there early. Note to the women, if you're on the other side of this, do not drink that drink that man bought for you. Because, you don't fucking know this guy.
sure.
I'm a swell guy. I would never do anything
Right.
creepy. But women, if you're listening, I think we have about 7 women listeners.
Right.
Fucking keep your guard up. Be like, I don't like that. You drink it.
Right.
Anyway, my point is, yes, I there's certain things that are protocol
Yeah,
that I would do.
Well, I told Karen.
And I'm sorry,
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to hear
you're good.
this.
No, you're good.
But another thing is and I learned this from Randy, bring cash.
Oh.
Like credit card, sure you got fucking $2,000 worth of credit on your credit card. Let's say it doesn't work. You got that cash right there and you're set.
Fuck. This guy, right?
Yeah.
Life advice was fucking mad, dude.
There it is.
It's a shame to be retired, but I'm way too old to be out there. I'm in a very happy marriage.
I told Karen that move, and she just goes, damn. She goes, fucking mad. I go, I'm telling you, dude, the boy's got his game, dude.
Yeah, well, I used to be I used to be like I was in a band too. I used to fall
Right.
ass backwards into it.
Right.
But once you get of a certain age, you got to fucking come correct. You can't be like 40 showing up without your shit together.
No, I'd be single forever, dude. Unless I'd just be like,
Well, they should
recently
also-
divorced, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Falling
If
on
you're
hard
showing up
times?
40, they already know you don't have your shit together.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you're,
yeah.
you're not really.
If you show up 40 and single and you're not divorced, they're like, what the fuck? So here's a theory I have. Like if you're dating up until 39, it's like good that you've never been married or maybe don't have kids, right? But once you're
Women don't feel that way.
that's what I'm saying. Once you hit 40
Right.
and you've never been married,
Yeah.
they're like, what the fuck?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like you're probably either never gonna get married
Yeah.
or there's just that's it's a whole different thing,
Right.
and it's almost to the point where like they almost want to know you have a kid,
Right.
That you can take care of a kid,
Right.
You've taken care of something in your life. You're
Yeah.
not just a runner.
right,
Right.
Yeah. So when my last ex-girlfriend broke up with me, I was like I had some rabbits, so I could prove I took care of those.
I kept some rabbits alive. We ate them when we broke up, but I made an amazing rabbit stew.
Yeah. So Listen, you learn some things
true.
over the years.
I'll never forget. There was when I was in college, we had a guest speaker for, which is weird. It was for my mythology class. So the guy came in and he was the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks basketball team. Didn't come in to talk
mythology?
about. No, he didn't even come in to talk about mythology. It was
That's
weird.
even
He
better.
I don't know why he came in, but the only thing, and it stuck with me forever. Del Harris is the guy's name. He was talking about relationships, and he was talking about the most important thing, and it stuck with me forever, and I do it to this day. He said, I pick one small, easy thing that matters to my wife, and I make sure that I do it every single day, because it costs me nothing, but it gains me a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what his thing was, but... and I've been doing this for years
I know
and years
what
and
mine
years
is
now.
now.
I get up every morning and make my wife a cup of coffee every single day without question. I make sure that I do that every single day because it's nothing, right? And
Right.
It really is nothing.
Yeah. Until you don't do it, then it's a whole lot of
they
something.
notice. Yeah,
that's
there has
wrong.
been days where I just didn't get around to it.
can't do it
And
sometimes.
then you realize, like, oh, it does matter.
Brian must be cheating on me.
Yeah.
I make the bed.
Okay.
That's a big fucking deal to her, apparently.
There you go.
Because I've tried making coffee for her. She's like, it's not enough sugar. I'm like, oh, you can go make your own fucking coffee.
Okay. Well, that's not really how we go about it, Craig.
Well, that's not my response.
Let Matt and
I
help
just
you.
do this.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Same thing. And she knows.
But this was at your high school. This guy came to talk about relationships.
No, college.
That's even better, dude. You're like 15.
Could you imagine him telling that to high school kids? You're like, bro. I mean, he was probably already stretching,
Right.
even in college, right?
Totally,
Like,
yeah.
no one's
Call my
thinking
dad,
about.
bro.
Yeah.
No one's. The idea of what a college relationship is to what a real relationship
man.
is. A college relationship is sex.
It's a piece of
I'm
cake.
just trying to not
It's
get
sex.
someone pregnant.
Yeah. It's
Like-
sex, and it's just someone that you hang out with, right? Like
Yeah.
you think it's this bigger. I mean, some people stay together forever. Not. But that's a small percentage.
Yeah,
But
because
it's not a real relationship.
your meals are just like all taken care of.
Yeah.
You like spending the night is optional, by the way.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
college, it's like maybe I will, maybe I won't. It doesn't get too crazy. The question is always implied. Like it's not assumed that you're gonna stay over or whatever. And
Right.
yeah, it's all fun, all easy.
We
I don't miss it, by the way. at
so
all.
we had a guest speaker in Bakersfield is classic whenever they get a guest speaker for like
Was it your
the
dad?
kids.
Please tell me where's your dad. Please tell me where's your dad.
That would have been awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
if it would have been my
story.
dad, he would have just been like, look, if you get into cocaine or heroin, you're probably going to suck someone's dick for drugs. That's just going to happen. You guys are broke. That's what I'm saying. No, they got this guy for the 8th grade graduation. How old are you, like 14?
You're about 13, 14.
13, 14,
Yeah.
right?
You're just a teenager. You're fresh off the teenage boat.
Yeah.
So I've seen this guy twice because I'd gone to my other friends when they graduated. So they always wheel this fucking guy out. I'm sure he's dead by now, but he's just some old guy, some business guy from Bakersfield, and he gives the same shitty speech every year. Like Bakersfield's notorious for like just defeatism, like to let you know your life is gonna be shit. And that's just how it is.
Is that true?
I'm not fucking with you.
Okay.
Every teacher I've ever had, everybody is given the same. Like I in the 8th grade was like, they asked, "What do you want to do with your life?" And I said, "I'm going to move to LA. I'm going to get on TV and do stand up." My teacher goes, "Ha ha! It's never going to happen."
Oh, good.
She goes, "You are never going to make it there, and if you even try, it's not going to happen."
Right.
And I just was like, "Miss Godecki, go to hell." Just because you couldn't get over the hill.
That's a lot of teachers though. And
Yeah.
it's for that reason.
Right, for sure.
Because a lot of, like any profession, there's a lot of people who are like had dreams.
Right.
And then did something more practical.
Right. Right.
And so it's just like, don't try because you're just going to end up here.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Don't ever go to
Yeah.
a guidance counselor with hope in high school.
No,
because
no.
they will listen to everything you're saying.
Yeah.
And then they'll slide over a pamphlet for like working at the construction
Right.
site
Yeah.
down the street. Like, So anyway,
Yeah.
You know
I
how to
think
change tires?
It's almost their responsibility in a way to be like, here's something more practical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I personally think, like, I'm not excusing that behavior. I still think it's kind of weird to be, well, you give them the information.
Right.
the point is, like, it's just, I don't know. I'm losing my thought. I was drunk last night and then I took too much weed. Do you know how this happens?
Yeah, I do.
This weed brain?
Yeah, I do.
No, my point was that, like, if you are going to go do something impractical,
Right.
you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they
Yeah, I'm an idiot, so I'm definitely going to go impractical.
I know you're joking, but it's not like you're an idiot. It's like some people want to go do some shit that's impractical.
Right.
There is some delusion there. And I don't mean like, oh, you're not going to make it. The delusion is, I'm fucking special. They ain't never seen anybody like me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's the delusion.
Yeah,
And
that's what it is.
the reality is, if you try, you're probably going to get to do something at least.
Right.
Like, where if you went straight to teacher or whatever that guidance counselor told you, you'd never get to do that thing.
Yeah, it's none of the jobs that they were telling you to go, whether it's, you know what I mean? Like, I know the old joke was like, well, the world still needs ditch diggers or whatever.
That's
and
what
right? But, it doesn't matter what the job was. It wasn't demeaning. It was consistent. It was a guaranteed paycheck.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, you could buy a house.
Right.
Have a family.
That's back in the day.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like that was how they looked at it. But yes, you have to be a little bit delusional, a little bit ignorant to think that whatever it is you're saying back to me, I'm going to disregard all of that,
right,
and still go this way. Which, good, by the way.
Yeah.
But you just have to be okay with failure too.
Well, yeah, because everyone's going to fail.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what this guy's speech was about. Yes, he would say, he had a long speech, but most of his speech, the part I always took away was, he says, look to your left and look to your right. One of these people will not cross the stage when you cross the stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, like they're going to be
at high school?
And then he's, and
usually don't hear that in high school.
And this is depressing, but he said, look to your left, look to your right. He said, one of these people will not be next to you when you graduate high school. He goes, and it's not because they moved away. It's because they're either dead or they failed.
Oh my God.
And so to my right was Scotty Collins. Me and him are weed buddies, right? I go, it's probably one of us. And then this beautiful girl that I had a huge crush on in high school. She was a model. She died.
Oh my God.
So he was right.
Our senior year. He was right. Me and fucking Scotty walked across stage, and Scotty's like, dude, you remember that old fuck?
Yeah.
We made it.
Now you know why he was wheeled in.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? He still had something.
Shauna didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Not to bring the show fucking
thanks a lot.
way down.
That's all right. I'm just happy that there was a model in Bakersfield.
There was. There was. The other one got out of town.
Did you ever have a shot?
With her?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Okay. Just
not in a million years.
I mean, you did say you were a little delusional, so I thought maybe you had some
I was
rock and roll
delusional,
moves
but in a way that I also wouldn't think I could obtain anything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, no, I could move to L.A.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people and just be a fucking clown?
Right.
No problem.
Yeah, no, totally.
But here? Yeah, I'm fucking nobody.
Well, you know what? My college actually made me delusional in a good way. I was like, I kind of stumbled ass backwards into like film production classes.
Oh, sure.
And so if you want to major in that, you have to take all these art and art history classes. And the art history classes, all they do is teach you is like, artists are fucking crazy and outsiders until they're the biggest things in the world.
It's not wrong.
And so you just kind of pick up that like, okay, yeah, you are going to get no money at first.
Right.
And then someday you will get money, and that's part of it. And that just made me feel like, oh, well. And then also that like so many people were doing so many things. Because you're never, even though there's art class in a lot of schools growing up, they're never like, yeah, you should try to be an artist. Not even in art class are they saying that.
No, they're not.
Never once do they say that.
They're not.
So, you know.
I follow this guy. I don't remember his name. I should remember his name. But he shows you real art. Real artists. You know, he's just like, this is amazing. Look what she's doing.
Yeah.
But then he'll show a guy who like runs, jumps on a trampoline, and then just does a paintbrush as he falls. And he goes, really? This is what we're fucking calling art now? It's like, this is stupid. Can we all agree? This is fucking stupid. This is not art.
Which one made more money?
probably the guy that had a room full of people to watch him run and jump and do the fucking stripe. I was just like, but I was just so glad to see somebody calling it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
Me and Randy went to film school together, and Randy actually became the president of Filmmakers Anonymous, which was like the film club, and you could get funds from the school. To, if you applied for them, to like go do stuff. So we did a field trip to New York City to watch the New York Film Festival, and the first movie we see is just this weird. This is like the mid-90s, right?
Yeah.
So people are just starting to make like art videos and stuff like that.
Right.
There's these people running relay races in New York, but the baton is a dildo, and so they're just passing on this dildo and running around.
Just running around New York?
They're running around New York passing the dildo. And then that's just one. And then the same director made this one where, like, I don't remember what it was about, but they put it in reverse. He, like, stands on a table and pulls down his pants. Oh, well, no, that's not how it is. There's shit on the ground, and then he's naked, and then the shit rises up and goes back into his asshole, and then he pulls his pants up and walks away. And we just went to a bar and got drunk.
You're like, this is
then we're like, we don't want to watch this shit.
That's so. You're talking. I went to film school at University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, dude. That's avant-garde filmmaking to its best.
Totally.
And they catch you off guard because they tell you you're going to see a bunch of art, and they see you're watching scat videos and like my teacher, they had a viewing room. She's like, all right, today's movie is about desensitizing the person, so you're gonna watch 20 minutes of vaginas. And I was like, all right, I'm like, you're not desensitizing me. After about like 3 minutes of just close-ups of vaginas, I'm like, how long is this going on for?
Yeah.
Like, it was just, and it just went on
and
on, and that's avant-garde. That's what they do, man.
Yeah.
Or they'll do like a slow pullback on a dude. They'll start on the eyeball.
Yeah.
It'll take 27 minutes
Yeah.
to pull out
Right.
to their face, and then they're like, the end. And you're like, you know what? This has got to stop.
Right. Someone's like speaking German.
I ended up getting kicked out of film school because I made a narrative about a parrot, and they were like, get out.
Really?
Yeah. Because everybody else was just making stuff. Look, at the end of the day, here's what you need to understand. Avant-garde filmmaking, the good part of avant-garde filmmaking is when you watch commercials or you watch television shows and you see how DP set up shots.
Yeah. Sure.
That comes from avant-garde filmmaking.
Yep.
It's a unique way of presenting
Goodfellas
information.
has a lot of what was once avant-garde.
What's lacking is narrative.
Yeah.
In avant-garde filmmaking. So a lot of people were like, I can't watch any more of this stuff. But I had my whole career there was avant-garde filmmaking. So all I saw was avant-garde films. They talked about.
And then this asshole comes with a script.
I came in with like, what happens if the parrot talks?
Right.
And he just doesn't know how to get out of his life until he sees a dead parrot, that's going to get eaten.
Right.
And they're like, no.
Same thing. At my school, it was a bunch of us. It was like 1994, dude. So that's like ground zero, Pulp Fiction. Everybody goes, oh, you can be... People like starting to realize what a film director is or whatever.
Sure.
They're like, oh, we got to do that. We're going to do that. And so all of us showed up at this school. It was like the only school we could get into. And it's really just an art class. Like my major is visual arts. It's not film. It's with emphasis on film production. All right? And so... we are all in there like trying to make these narratives, like these Hollywood movies, and our teachers are just like, what the fuck, guys?
Pump the
Same
brakes.
deal. Like I remember I was like, I showed like mine, and then you have to talk to the class afterwards, and the class all talks about it, and I'm like, yeah, this my movie or my film, and my teacher goes, no, it was a movie. Like it wasn't a film. But we didn't get kicked out for it. But it definitely was this thing where like, you guys, like, and so I did make, the compromise was I made this narrative short film that had like these way long scenes in them where I'm just like picking up change or something. Or just walking down the street. It's a movie that should be like 6 minutes and it's 12 minutes,
Right.
But on their advice, which is bad advice. Like if I'm going to do the narrative, let's make it a little quicker.
I just realized I didn't really understand avant garde filmmaking.
Right.
Like there is a point to them.
Yeah.
But you have to figure that point out to where like what you're talking about or like what I did was I couldn't escape a full narrative, so I would just like, how about I just compare people eating beef to the cows that are still out there? And I'm like, that's not really avant-garde filmmaking. It's kind of like very like straightforward exposition.
Yeah.
But that's how I processed what I thought was like way out there, like great. Like I thought I was gonna get like a standing ovation in class when I
like fucking Bryan.
Like everyone's like, why is this guy still in the class?
You know how you get the avant-garde movie made? You go to the slaughterhouse. That's how you fucking do it. It's all slaughterhouse.
Did they really kill those fucking cows?
And then you put a fun song behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm walking on sunshine.
Yeah. And then you finish with the McDonald's theme song. That's how you do it.
Then people are just they're hardly eating hamburgers. Yeah,
I just didn't understand.
I wouldn't have understood that either.
I was in high school and I took a photo class, and my friend was actually a good artist and understood art, and like way more than I did. I was just like taking photos, like I didn't know what the fuck.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have my friend Brandon with a full head of hair, holding a sign that says "before," and he's in the woods. And then I'm gonna shave his head.
I've seen
And then
this.
he's in the parking lot. He's holding a sign that says "after." Right? And then my friend just goes, I don't think the art world's ready for that. And I was like, it kind of jarred me. I'm like, oh yeah. But then I did it anyway. I think I got an A.
Did you ever see American Movie?
Oh,
Yes, yeah,
I just saw that in the theater.
It's so good.
It's so good. So for the audience that doesn't know, it's about this guy in the Midwest who makes an indie movie, which everybody did in the 90s.
Sure.
Everybody shot, and that was the challenge of it. You had to get enough money. For nothing else other than film cost money back then.
Yes.
You couldn't just shoot it on the
your
phone.
phone, yeah.
And so that's what it's all about. So you're always working for cheap, which means you're always working with amateurs.
Yes.
And
It was just his friends.
and no one has any experience.
Right.
The actors are like, God bless them, but they're like local theater actors, and they're out of their mind. I relate, but still, it's like bonkers. But this dude has so much. He has what you need. He has confidence,
So much
arrogance,
confidence.
and delusion.
Yeah. And he just does zest to make his movie.
And he honestly, to his credit, so when I watched it when I was younger, I was laughing at this dude. You loser, you dumb fuck. And then since I've tried things with my life, I'm watching him and being like, wow, it's pretty hard to make a movie.
It's really hard to make a movie.
Well, you watched it with 90s attitude, right?
You
'Cause
totally,
that was
like-
totally
like-
how you were the 90s.
Yeah.
There's so much. It's such a luxury to have never tried anything before because
Sure.
you think
You have no
you're
idea.
gonna fucking be the best,
Right.
and like you're like I'm making films and people like them, but I'm only being compared to the 15 other people in class.
Right.
So you have this arrogance. Oh, I got into the fucking Micro Cine Fest in Baltimore, dude. I'm on my way. This guy though, he's a loser.
Yeah.
You
My favorite part about it is that he gets the people involved that are just his friends. They just want to get high. And they have zero interest in being in his movie. Like one of his friends, he's just like, dude, like what the fuck, man? You're not bringing it. He's just like, I don't want to bring it.
He puts his uncle in a car and he tries to make him do the line. It's like, it's all right. It's okay. Jesus loves you. And the guy just can't do it.
Right.
And he hates the movie and he hates his nephew. And he's just like, what are you doing in my trailer? Like, get the fuck away from me. And he's also milking his uncle for money.
He's the one giving him the money.
Yeah. And he's like, and I got to act in this shit, dude. And he's just like, oh.
It's too good.
He goes, hey, Mike, he calls his uncle, no, Mike is the other guy.
Yeah,
He's like,
his
Phil.
buddy, yeah.
He calls his uncle by his first name. He's like, yeah, Phil, you'll see, man, when we get in the Academy Awards and we're done with this thing, you'll see where all this time and money went. And he just goes, that'll be the day. And he goes, at the Oscars, what do you want, red or white wine? What do you want? Yeah, now you're thinking. Because the guy's whole life revolved around alcohol on top of it. Like,
that's true. It's all about the beers.
And I believe he just passed away recently.
Did he?
Yes.
No. Mike just passed away.
I knew somebody had passed away. Okay.
Mike is the best part of that movie. He's this hippie dude who's really good at guitar.
Yes.
He's playing Fight Fire with Fire by Metallica Metallica on an acoustic. It's part of what they use for the soundtrack.
Right.
It's pretty amazing.
I wonder, did Homeboy ever continue to make movies?
That's the thing. It didn't happen.
The guy, Chris Smith, who made the movie.
Yeah.
Of them making the movie, Chris Smith went on to a pretty successful career. He's a commercial director.
Okay, yeah.
Because he put together a tight ass movie.
He really did.
And it wasn't his first movie either.
American movie is fantastic.
Yeah, so they met.
He also did American Job, if you guys haven't seen that one.
Did he do American Mullet?
I don't know.
But they met like on editing bays in the area.
Oh, that's how he knew that guy.
So if you remember the documentary, that guy was making the movie for like 10 years.
Yes.
You know, just on and off, on and off.
Yes.
You see the footage, they all
Piece
look
by
different.
piece, right. They all get older, cut their hair.
So they're editing. Meanwhile, the director, the other director, what's his name?
Chris Smith.
He's also like in the building
doing
renting his editing equipment, and they run into each other. And the guy, he's like, "I gotta get this guy.
I gotta do this guy."
Yeah.
Brilliant move.
Which is kind of like, you know, it's funny because we got such a great movie out of it.
Right.
But dude, totally gonna be like, "I'll produce your movie," and like, could have like helped instead of just standing there filming everything. So they're fucking up with shitty cameras. Meanwhile, Chris has these great cameras.
Yes.
And it's filming them fucking up. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't think a good camera could have.
that.
No, but he could have got him a real line producer. Like he could have like.
But then he doesn't get his movie.
No. I think everything turned out the way it should.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just very funny.
I mean, those guys were
that
famous.
there's a competent film crew around this incompetent film crew. Do you know what I mean?
Well, didn't Mike end up on like Letterman and stuff like that? I mean, they got a lot
I'm
of
sure he did.
traction on that.
He did get traction off of it.
They've been on Family Guy. So I can't remember the main character's name, but he ends up like
the director guy.
Yeah, the guy with the long hair,
Yeah.
the main character in the
Yeah.
movie. He ends up like doing like live appearances or whatever, but not a lot. Not like Kevin Smith. Just like occasionally.
Right. It did taper off.
I didn't even call it taper off. I would say like 10 years later, they're like, we should get that guy to speak at our film festival.
Okay.
No, I Wikipedia'd him, and he's not doing that much.
He's just living in a small town. Life, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. If you bring up American movies, he's probably like, I don't want to fucking talk about that.
Or that's the one thing. That's what you're known for. You're only known for one thing.
Or he's like, starts, what, ma'am? Yeah, aisle 13. Anyway, yeah, dude. So we shot that out in the woods just up here off of Highway 58.
I think he is proud of it.
He should be.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's talking about it.
Dude.
It was legendary.
Look at this American podcast. You know what I'm saying? Who are we laughing at?
The Full Charge American Power Hour.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Too good.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to talk about anything else. I'm realizing everything else I have to talk about. Right now, this is great, though. Like, right now, we would normally go to Wendell.
True.
Which I think I can figure.
We're going to do Wendell in the window. There's a window on the other side that you can't see. He's never going to be allowed in studio, so he can just stand outside the window like a sitcom character.
That
or
would
a puppet.
be like Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Like he's up there in the window. Oh, dude, I like this.
Or at the door, that little door window there.
I can't wait to make him come all the way to Glendale.
Just to do that. He would hate it.
Or how about this? Since we're spitballing for the future.
Yes.
What if we get a Wendell puppet, you only have him call on the phone, and I'll just move his mouth while he's talking?
I like that a lot. They do that on Howard Stern.
We can actually pull that off.
We can pull that off.
We can pull that off.
I mean,
it's a good idea.
It's great. It's almost better than what else is possible, which is taping the Zoom and editing it in. But the puppet's great.
The puppet's fantastic.
Well, we got that.
So there'll be a coming soon.
I think that's pretty good.
Wendell puppet.
And I only want to talk to the puppet. I don't want to react.
Everybody loves puppets.
So you sent a thing about the TV show Soap.
Yeah,
Right.
a while ago. Yeah.
And I know we don't have a thing to play of it. If you just look up clips.
Can we describe it, though? It's like a sitcom that's a spoof of soap operas
yeah.
in the late
And it was
70s.
in the late 70s.
And
you
it
know
was
what's a clip that I sent you?
What?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
And the precursor is it's a precursor to like Arrested Development, where there's
For
like
sure.
a bunch of unique characters,
Right.
all mixed together.
Like my parents, it was over their heads. Like
Right.
they couldn't watch it.
yeah.
And if I got to stay up late, because it was always on like a Tuesday or something, and if I got to stay up late that was my jam.
Yeah.
And I liked it because Billy Crystal was a gay guy on it.
Yeah.
Which
Probably one of the
is so groundbreaking, and
he was
it's
out and just
because the closest you get to it is Three's Company, where like,
For
yeah,
sure.
just say you're gay.
right. But
Which-
you're really not.
Right, so that's like, okay, like that's just something weird when you're a
So
kid
we're not really creeping
in a small town.
because he's still living
Yeah.
with 2 chicks.
Yeah, people gotta understand, like, it was not on anyone's radar
No.
that gay people even existed. Where
Right.
I grew up, like nobody, you didn't see anything,
Right.
You didn't hear anything. It was just kind of like an insult. We would call each other on the playground. You
Right.
have these derogatory things,
Like-
but you wouldn't associate it with homosexual.
No, I had
behavior.
a gay uncle
Yeah.
who didn't live in our little town, but when he would come to town, him and his boyfriend, I mean, they were flamboyant as shit, and like they dressed like city people,
Right.
Like, you know.
So it was a
jewelry
big, what the
and-
kids call a big to-do.
It was a big to do.
Okay.
And I just remember talking to I'm like 7 or 8, and I was like, wow, it's really cool that Uncle Harold gets to hang out with his best friend. And they get to travel around. I go, like, me and Larry, when we grow up, we'll get to like go places and hang out and stuff. And my dad looked at me, he goes, yeah, dude, he goes, they're gay. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I go, what's gay? And he goes, they're boyfriends. And I go, like me and Larry? He goes, not like you and Larry. They're like me and your mom, but they're 2 men. And I go, and he goes, yeah, fuck it. They're roommates, dude.
They're also roommates.
They're also roommates. Yeah.
they'll eventually be a sitcom about it. Don't worry.
Let's take it
But
one step at a time. You know?
My favorite part of that show that I thought was the shit was the brother who had the ventriloquist dummy.
Right.
And everybody talked to the dummy like it was a real person.
I love this concept.
And treated it like it was a real person.
Right.
Even when he goes, hey, look, he can read minds or whatever, and he blindfolded him, and then he goes, hold something up. And they did, and only the drunk mom knew, like, she wasn't drunk. She was just the only person that was smart
Right.
in the whole house.
Right.
And when the dummy guessed, it's red. It's a pair of glasses. And they were like, oh my God, we've got a moneymaker. And she's just like, oh my, are you guys kidding me right now?
And that, by the way, is not just really good comedy writing. It's understanding how to deliver a joke.
Right.
Everybody had to understand what their
Right.
role was in order to make that
Right.
puppet joke, the obvious puppet joke, work.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And that's when you go, okay, and what that would be considered an obscure form of humor.
Yeah.
For sure.
Back then.
For sure. That's why my
what you're
parents wouldn't
seeing
get
is
it.
like how they delivered that and killed that joke.
They killed that because the brother, when he guesses what it is, the brother just, oh my God! He's just blown away by the magic. And us, as a kid, I was just like, what? Holy!
Yeah.
It took me a while to realize, like,
Yeah.
oh, these guys are all dumbass.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that show was insane. And Benson was on that show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that spun off into a normal comedy.
That was this was a total run of the mill sitcom.
Yes, it was.
It was. I don't even know how successful it was.
Very successful.
It was, right?
It definitely made it to reruns, which means it needs 100 episodes or something.
If you know who Robert Guillaume is,
Oh.
he did his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Did he write
successful
it?
enough. No.
no, but he was famous.
Oh, that was
He was Benson.
He was Benson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you knew the name.
Yeah, because Benson was like the worst butler ever. He hated everybody.
He was
in the house.
condescending, right? And like
Condescending
shitty
as hell.
Yeah.
The door would knock, and he would be like, "Well, I guess I'll get it." And you're like, "Yeah, you're the butler." It was like, he was just off-put.
But then in Benson, he was a politician, right?
No, that's
Is
who he
that-
worked for. He worked for the governor, I think, in the governor's mansion or something.
and he was the
God.
same, right? He was the same character.
Yes, yeah,
He
yeah.
was the same shitty butler.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's so weird.
yeah.
I love that. And so I got to watch that show, Benson, because that was on regular time. And I was like, oh, it's the guy from that fucking wacky show.
Yeah.
That my parents don't understand.
It's all out there. It's probably either on Tubi or Roku.
Yeah. No, I'm going to start watching it because
They're all out there, man.
It's so funny.
We'll have a film festival.
The lady from Harold and Maude is in it. She's the mom, the grandma. Mm-hmm. She's the drunk grandma.
Yeah.
Oh,
You ever see Harold and Maude?
Yeah, but she was in a lot of stuff.
She was in a lot of stuff.
I'm going to see Harold and Maude at the Vista soon.
Sweet.
Because I've never seen it, and I know it's like the alternate universe version of
It
The
is.
Graduate.
Right.
Like right down to the fact that Cat Stevens does all the music instead of Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of how I see it, but I haven't seen.
I would just
Harold and
watch
Maude.
whatever came on, and so I've seen a lot of weird movies, and that was one of those. My mom was just like, "What are you watching?" I go, "This guy's in love with this old lady." And she was like, "What?" I was that kid. You know, your parents are like, "I don't know about this guy."
He understands soap. He's watching this.
Yeah, he's a weird fucking.
He's asking gay questions. What are we gonna do with this guy?
You just know you got the odd kid.
We got to toughen this kid up. We're taking him to Bakersfield.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I know my dad just many a time would just walking. Huh. All right. Just walk away.
Such a dad move.
Yeah.
I pulled that one too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have it in me to bring up anything that's happening right now. I just gotta go.
How do you even keep track of what your kids are doing nowadays? Like they're all on the phone, right?
You have to trust.
Oh, you got to be up their ass.
Right. You can't walk in.
Well, that was two different answers.
Well,
I was like, you can't. You got to trust. He's like, oh, you got to be up in that shit. I'm like, it's too much
my
work.
kid, they're good and they're smart, but it's just like, fuck, you got to ride her ass, man, or she'll just let all that shit go.
Because it used to be you walk in, like your dad, walk in and see what someone's watching on television. Now you're looking at somebody, if the sound is off, they're doing God knows what on their phone.
Right.
And that's like
Yeah.
their universe.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like my wife will check on me. She's like, what are you doing on your phone? And I'm never on my phone. She knows if I'm on my phone, I'm going down a Blue Sky, Twitter, fucking doom scroll.
Hate
and she's
fest.
like, what are you doing? And she's on her phone all day, all night.
Right.
But if she sees me on the phone, she's like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck? I do not want you to be in a bad mood right now.
Oh, you get all riled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll just sometimes just walk in and be like, get off your phone, do something else. And then I'll come back 5 minutes later and they're playing video games on their video game system. I'm like, that was barely a move.
It's kind of not what I meant.
Yeah, anything. But in their world,
Yeah.
what else is there?
That's like reading a book, playing video games.
Going outside and standing around, like they don't. Those things don't exist anymore. I mean,
I
they
know.
do. They do their own thing. They've always been very active,
Right.
But they're still kids, and they come from a completely different generation where their whole world revolves around televisions, computers, iPads, and phones. Like, it is what it is.
Well, they can't fuck around in the street.
Right.
And it's not like any houses have that much of a yard in Los Angeles.
Right.
You know what I mean? You
there's no
basically
true
inside.
neighborhoods anymore. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So my kid would do, she would do weird shit like, hey, can I borrow one of your fedora hats? I'm like, sure. You got a button-up shirt? I'd be like, I mean, yeah, go look. She'd look through my shirt. This one cool? Yeah. Goes in her room. 30 minutes later comes out and she looks like the main character from Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah? Walter
Yeah.
White?
Yeah, she's got the mustache, his hat, shirt. She'd go, Walter White? And I just start cracking up. I'm like, nailed it, dude. Like, wow, yeah.
So it was just a one-person show for you?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
It didn't make it to the internet? She didn't take a picture or anything?
She would take a picture. I don't know if she would post it. I would.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like,
Well, yeah.
God damn it.
We're all attention whores,
So that's
so, yeah.
pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, I'm going to make my stoner parents laugh.
Right.
You know. So she comes out, she's all Walt White. We're just like, bah. And she has our sense of humor. so-
Right. And your wardrobe.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to do it for the Full Charge Power Hour. Back to basics. Intro.
Hell yeah.
We will build from here. Honestly, this is a great first day. If you could see this place 2 hours ago,
Yeah, I bet.
we were laughing about how. Did we already talk about this on the podcast? Where I can't remember what we talked about today. Where you were like, "Is this a new studio?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it is a new studio." And I sent you a picture of like the
Right.
shit. Did we talk about this on the podcast already?
Yeah, just
He
the
just said
furniture
the
knocked over
furniture
all
was
the-
knocked over.
Yeah. Okay, we did already talk about it. I'm out of my mind. I'm proud we pulled this off
Yeah, dude,
today.
it's like the news desk at the end of the Saigon War.
Yeah, right. It's like we're broadcasting to
Pack it up.
We're
whoever's
like,
still.
fucking, we're getting on a chopper after this.
Look at, I mean, this makes it.
You made this.
This makes it. All right. Thanks for listening. And we'll try to work on getting Wendell back on the podcast somehow. But there's no way he's coming out just to do 10 minutes.
No, I think
to Glendale.
I think the puppets.
Yeah, the puppet.
It's pretty.
That's what
Gonna
we'll
have
do.
to find a way to build the window pump.
All right. Pledge on Patreon. We could use the help, obviously. Patreon.com/The Full Charge. And check out my tour at thefullcharge.com. And yeah, peace out,
Peace out.
fam.